think engagement is key to us all. What do we mean by engagement? It's really breaking down the barriers between the office staff and the shipboard staff so that we can work together as one team, making sure that the ships are operated safely and efficiently. We believe that seafarers are our top priority. They really are key to success in shipping in general. And if we can get the crew working efficiently and safely, then we believe that we've probably got 75 to 80% of the problem solved. We're always looking for ways of improving things to get better. And we've taken a conscious decision that the answer to this, or one of the answers to this, is not just more procedures and more instructions. It's actually to engage with our seafarers, bring them on board, making sure that we understand the challenges that they face on a day-to-day basis, and working with them rather than against them. We started looking at engagement. We decided to look at these three areas. Looking at the safety strategy that we have, picking on some key focus areas, and of course then measuring the results at the end to see if we are indeed successful in our aspirations. So this was our goal. I think it's a tough goal, but I think if we set anything less than this as a goal, then we're setting our sights too low. As the Managing Director, there's nothing I want more than all of the seafarers to go on board, complete their contracts safely, and then go home to their families at the end of the contract. And I regard any accident as a failure on my part personally. Second to personal safety is, of course, the environment. We're totally committed to safety in the environment, so we really want to make sure that we have no spills. As part of the overall strategy, we decided to look at three key elements. That is engagement, empowerment, and wellness. And I'll go into a little bit more detail on each of those in the coming slides. When we decided to look at engagement, we decided that the areas that we really need to look at, and the little picture of the ants lifting the bottle on the left of the screen there, is meant to portray a team working together and achieving something that is quite ambitious. How do we set about this? Communications. I think that communications are key to any successful operation. And when I say communications, I don't mean just pressing the send button on the computer. For me, communication is about sending information to and from the ships, making sure they understand what is required, and actually engaging more with the sea staff. We're also we're getting our staff in the office, our superintendents, to telephone the ships at least once a week and talk to the captains and chief engineers, not about the ships, but about them, asking them about their families, wishing them a happy birthday, inquiring after the health of their children, so that they feel that they're part of the team. We want to get away from the perception that if the superintendent phones the ship, then there must be something wrong and they're in trouble. We really want to open up those lines of communication so that the people on board the ships see the superintendent as their ally and someone that they can talk to when they've got problems. We've all been in the industry long enough to know that problems are inevitable on ships. That's the nature of our industry. Retention. It's very difficult to achieve our aspirations if we've got a constant turnover of officers and crew. And still today there's a shortage of people. So our aspirations are to keep our retention as high as possible. Overall in the fleet we're at 95%, but we really want to improve that. Training. I think everyone recognises the key, the importance of training, and it's something that we are focused on. Shipboard working and living conditions. The people spend a lot of time on the ships. It's their home. And frankly, some ships these days are not in good shape. We are not prepared to allow our crews to live in poor conditions on board. And if we do take ships into management that are not up to our standard, then we ask for investment from the owners to make sure that they're brought up to an acceptable level. Recognition and a reward. I think all of us like to be told we're doing a good job. All of us like to be praised. And of course, all of us like our salary. But I think a thank you for a job well done is almost as important as the monetary values. When we look at this, we decided to look at a lot of softer things, softer elements to our crews, and you can see a lot of these points are engaged around communications. One of the most successful things has been our Women of Wallam campaign. That's a voluntary organisation. It's funded by the company, but the aim is to make sure that there is a support network for our seafarers, wives and partners when they're away at sea. It removes one less burden for them to worry about when they're in the middle of the ocean. We're also focused on the wellness of our crew, and we're not just talking there about having a valid medical. There are lots of elements to wellness, and it's an isolated life at sea, so there are lots of things that we need to take into account. We've also opened up a number of lines of communication in our Sea Voice system. This allows the seafarers to communicate with us anonymously. It allows them to send in their concerns about shipboard conditions, things that may or may not be going on board. And each one of those is investigated and fed back. We do receive some frivolous emails. Some emails where an AB has decided that the chief officer's working him too hard and doesn't like it. But by and large, the emails that we get have proved valuable to us. So we've been able to eliminate a lot of problems before they escalate into a big deal. On the empowerment element, I think most companies have got a stop work authority in their safety management system, so this is not particularly innovative. But what we have done is we've actually gone one step further in that we've produced these cards in plastic, hard plastic, and everyone on board is required to have them with them all the time. We have superintendents check on this when they go and visit the ships. We make sure that everyone from the deck boy through to the master has got these stop cards on them. We really want and encourage and praise any time that any seafarer uses the stop work authority. Again, some of those may or may not be relevant, but at least it gives us time to consider and make sure that we are doing things safely on board. Where are we going? What we want to do is produce a Wallam professional seafarer. You can see the elements that we've focused on here. But one of the key points that we're focusing on is the fact that safety is very much a choice that the seafarers make themselves. Wallam, we can support them, we can help them, we can give them the tools that they need, but at the end of the day, we can't be on board 24/7. So anything that our seafarers do that isn't safe is a choice that they consciously make. And we're trying to get this across, that there is no pressure from the office to take shortcuts, to operate the ships in a less than safe manner. It's requiring a difficult culture change, and it's going to take time. And I'd love to stand here and say we've been successful, but we haven't yet. But we are working on it. So let's hope we continue in that line. Connected with the choices for the individuals is pride. Again, I think we all want to do a good job. I don't know of anyone that wakes up in the morning and says, I'm going to go to work, whether it be on a ship or in an office, anyone that goes to work and says, I'm not going to do a good job today. And we want people to be proud of doing a good job. And there is, I once read a paper not long ago about safety and operational excellence, and in this paper it had a line that actually safety is nothing more than doing our jobs properly. So we do personal responsibility in delivering excellence, and we praised our crews when they achieved that. Wellness. The physical health is obviously a big deal, and we support our crews in all the requirements of the MLC to make sure that they have the support medically that they need and are entitled to. But we've tried to take it one step further, and we've been looking at the psychological issues around seafaring, about the challenges. And we believe that we do have a duty of care for our seafarers whilst they're on board. And we've started along with that a Dignity at Sea programme, which is across the line for male and female seafarers, where we expect all of our seafarers to be able to work and live in an environment that is acceptable to all. There should be no harassment, no discrimination, and the ships and everyone on there should be treated with equal.
1 minute.
Equal boots on deck. Sounds logical, sounds simple, but how many of our senior officers spend too much time in front of computers reading emails and not out on the deck looking at the ships? We're actively discouraging emails from the office now. We want guys out on board doing their jobs. Our vessel, our home, it's a big focus on us. If they treat the ships like their home, then the ships will look good and they'll be operated safely. Where have we seen? We've seen an increase in all good things. We've seen an increase in retention, we've seen an increase in quality, we've seen an increase in profitability. But best of all, we've seen a decrease in accidents. We've seen an actual decrease in accidents. We've seen an increase in the use of the stop card. That's up by 30% over 12 months, which we really view as a great indicator. And we now see more of the ships and the shore staff working together as a team. Thank you very much.